Hey everybody, welcome to Inside the Geocaching Network. We are live. My name is Neil Moore. I'm your host tonight. Oh, are we coming up? There we go. Anyway, we're live now, and I'm Neil Moore. I'm your host. And tonight we have with us Joseph Cody, SirDrumalot, and we have Lyndsaey. I can't even say your last name.
Nelson.
Okay.
Nelson's my real last name. You're good.
All right. And she is the geocaching chef. And we're going to get started here. And if you're in the chat room, welcome to everybody in the chat room. I see Tick Magnet and Keepers of the Cash Flow, Supernuts, Geoscouter, Hailmeister, Flower Pot Man, Dan, Adventures of Dan, DNF Magazine, John, he's in there. Hey, see my shells here?
See my shell.
So it's good to see all you in the live chat room. If you have questions for Joseph or Lyndsaey, feel free to post your questions in there and I'll try to stay on top of that. But we're going to get started here and we're going to go ladies first. So we're going to a couple questions for Lyndsaey to get started. And there she is. So Lyndsaey, first of all, your name says it all, but tell us about what you do for a living to earn a paycheck.
I'm actually an executive chef for a hospital in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's a 350-bed hospital, and I am in charge of all the production work that goes for the cafeteria, the catering, and the patient meals.
Wow, that's a lot of food.
Yeah, it's about 3,000 meals a day.
All right. Okay, so as a chef, because we were talking earlier and you said something about you get up at pretty early in the morning. What time do you have to be in to work?
Well, I'm salary, so I'm really lucky I get to make my schedule. So I like to get up early and get in so I can get out early and be home with the family. So I usually get up and get out of the house about 5 o'clock.
All right, cool. All right, Joseph, SirDrumalot, tell us what you do besides editing your videos at work. Tell us what you do for a living.
I work for. I'm a sales representative. I'm a supervising sales representative for a regional wireless carrier. It's actually the largest privately owned wireless carrier in the world. I think the world. It may just be the nation, but I'm thinking it's the world. So I deal with phones all day and people crying about Facebook. Yeah.
All right. So back to ladies first. Lyndsaey, what did you do as a hobby or with your free time before geocaching?
I was a big maker because making things like little knickknacks or cards, I really enjoy making cards, is not that different than cooking. And it's all the kind of same thing. It's all designing. And so now I just kind of get to combine that with another hobby and I get to put it in geocaches, which is even more fun. So people actually get to see it instead of it just hanging around my house.
Right. So you've combined two hobbies into one to kind of, I don't know what you'd say to
make a super hobby.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Joseph. We know you play the drums.
Yeah.
So, and before kids, what was it that you spent your time with, your free time, or don't you remember?
No, I remember. No, honestly, it's. I mean, since I was 10 years old, it's always been about drums. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's what I did in college. That's what I studied in college. Even the years after I decided not to go to college, that's all I did. It consumed. I mean, it consumed me. You know, music in general, really, but mostly drums and percussion. But I'm a big fan of music. So I mean, that's I spent my free time playing, listening to just all kinds of music, and I'm pretty big on science fiction, mostly movies. I do read sometimes, but I'm a big Star Wars nut, Star Trek, all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty much it for me, just drums and music.
All right. Okay, so let's get into a little bit about your geocaching. So Lyndsaey, tell us if you have a favorite cache or your favorite type of cache. Kind of describe, if you don't have a favorite one that you can pick out, tell us what your favorite type of cache would be and why.
I honestly am I'm here for the underdogs because my favorite geocache is a lamppost cache, especially one that's really creative. Like I showed one that's like a little village under the lamppost skirt, and that's amazing. I love to find those because they're the last thing you expect. You hike out into the forest and you expect to find things that are unexpected. But you're just walking through the Walmart parking lot and you find a little tiny village under a lamppost. That's amazing to me.
Where I'm from, never mind. That'd be something. A little village in the Walmart parking lot just doesn't sound right to me. So you're the type that likes to find the creative, typical caches.
Yeah. I like to see someone stretch the imagination on something that you think you've seen 100 times.
Sure. Yeah. That would be nice if people would get a little bit more creative with the lamppost cache. Last winter I found two of them actually that were, sorry, I got something in my eye, that were a little bit different. And I picked up the skirt expecting to find a pill bottle, and it was like a dog's chew toy, but it was in the shape of a chicken leg, like
cool.
Fried chicken leg. So that was kind of nice and different. So Joseph, same question. What is your favorite cache, your favorite type of cache that you like to find?
I'll be 100% honest. I don't care. I like them all. I found the creative one. Speaking of the lamppost cache, I was actually on the way to my very first event, which I don't get to do a lot of events because I work Saturdays mostly. But in my very first event, I was passing by one, and it was a big, like Halloween rat under a lamp.
Yeah.
It scared the crap out of me. But I honestly don't have a preference, man. I don't get to go caching a lot, so I try to savor every one that I find, whether it's just a guardrail, LPC, or even if it's a nice walk for a DNF like last week. I really don't care. I just like to get out and go.
Right.
So,
yeah, I would have to agree. It seems like lately, well, and I was telling you guys before we went live here that I was on vacation with my wife and our two friends, and they're not geocachers. So all week long, I'm surrounded by geocaches in town, and I can't get to them. It's so we take a little side trip, and we end up Cades Cove or up on top of, what is it, Kingman's Dome, and it's like, oh, there's a virtual. I can get this without looking stupid and embarrassing my wife. Yep. So anything, even now, like a lamppost cache is like, oh, I get a little bit of fix, mm-hmm. as Skimbosh would say, a little bit of geocrack. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I got to take a look at my book here, see what I got written down. As far as what they consider cache karma, do you have hides out there? Very many hides? 1, 2, none?
No. Let's see. I've done a total of, I think, 53 hides, and I think I have 50 that are. It may be 49 that are active. I've got one that's disabled right now, and I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it. But no. And I've got plans for hides. It's just between the spare time that I get to go find a cache and then the little bit of time I have to do these weekly videos that I'm doing, coming up with a hide's kind of difficult. But I have lots of ideas. It's just the time to get them out there. That's sure. The hard part. But yeah. No, I'm all about cache karma. I mean, I want to hide as many as I can, but so much private property here in Mississippi. In my immediate areas, it's kind of hard to find places to hide a cache.
Now, do you have a lot of geocaches in your area, or do you feel like you're a lone cacher out there?
Well, I know of one other person in my county that likes to get out every now and then. Just every now and then. The nearest, I would say, active geocacher is probably 40 miles away.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I looked it up a couple of weeks ago. I think there are 98 active caches in the county that I live in, and I own half of them.
Oh.
Wow.
So I live in kind of a dead area.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough on a
the
person.
exact opposite problem. There are so many geocaches in our area, I have to travel really far to hide one.
Oh, gosh. I don't have that problem.
So shout out to my local group, New Cache Order. I'm not currently a member, but they have a bunch of members, and they're amazing, and they hide really awesome caches. So they see this at some point. They're a really good group. And if you're up here and they're doing an event, they always do really neat events, and they're good about bringing new cachers in too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So, Lyndsaey, do you have hides out there? 1, 2?
I only have 5. I'm sorry. Feels really lame next to 53 hides.
All right, I won't tell you how many I've got.
Oh my gosh.
2.
Actually, I've only got like 20 active, but I mean, there's people in like where I'm from here that have 1,000 or 2,000 active hides, and it's like that blows my mind.
No, I couldn't see that.
Yeah. So I got to give a little shout out. I got a local guy here, Norman Granger. If you've seen his videos out there, he's local to me. We've met a couple times at a couple local events here in the area, and he's fairly new to the YouTube channel.
Hi, Norman.
Hey, Norman. How's it going, buddy?
So, all right. So now back to us, because we're the important ones, right?
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are. So let's talk a little bit about your vlogging, since this is Inside the Geocaching Network. And again, ladies first. So, Lyndsaey, I'll put you on the screen and put you under the spotlight. What is it that you would like to accomplish with your channel?
I really just want to inspire other people to get out. I mean, if anyone has watched my videos, they know my daughter was born really early, and she's a sick child a lot because of that. So I just like to inspire people to get out there and do things, whether you think you're not capable, get out. Even 20 minutes makes a big difference to her. She asks me every day about geocaching now. That's part of her thing. That's what she looks forward to. And, I wasn't super healthy before this because I just got into the rut of being depressed and sitting around the hospital and eating because that made me feel good. And I found that this makes me feel a lot better being able to be out there with my family doing this. And I just want people to know that there's other options. You can meet other people, do other things. You're not alone.
Right. All right, Joseph, what is it you would like to accomplish with your channel?
Man, if I could just make somebody smile, I don't get extremely creative or anything like that, but if I could just have a wisecrack or something that'll just make somebody giggle just a little bit, that's all I'm looking for. Let's see, I think it was last week maybe. I've got one of my hides is on my property here, 100 yards from my house. And it's modeled after one of West Virginia Tim's, and so I have people will message me if they need help with it. So the other day, last week at work, I think it pops in on my phone, and we were kind of dead at work. So I'm helping whoever this is. I have no idea who it is. I'm helping them accomplish the gadget cache because it is difficult. It's very difficult, and I gave them one little bitty hint, just one little small hint, and they got it. And they told me, and I read the log, and I said, well, hey, if you're coming through this way, stop by my work, and, I'll give you a free trackable or something because they did it on their own. So they pull up, And they come in and they ask for me, and I said, "Well, here, let's go around back to my car, and I got give y'all a little something." And the one girl, she said, "I watched 2 of your videos because I keep some of my calling cards in my larger caches, And she said, "Well, we took one of your cards," and she said, "I just subscribed to your channel. I watched 2 of your videos on the drive over because it's like 7 or 8 minutes." And she watched I forgot which. Oh, she watched the one where I did the little shark thing at the beginning with Parker singing the little shark song, and she said I laughed so hard at that little intro that I couldn't even watch the rest of the video. I was like, good, my job's done. So that's all I'm in it for. I just want to smile. That's it.
Yeah. It's always nice when somebody says, "Hey, I love this video or that video," or if they can pick out one video that you did that's their favorite, or whatever. If they say, "Yeah, I've watched your videos, but I don't remember anything about them," you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah. If you can't remember something about somebody's video, then they're not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry for all of the rest of you that are watching that we don't watch your videos.
No.
No.
I try to watch everybody's videos. So
yeah, and we talked about that before we went live too. Is that we're all behind on watching videos because it seems like there's so many that come out. It's like you don't have enough time. I try to set aside time sometime in the evening. I'll watch 3 or 4, and but a lot of times it's like I'm too busy. I got to spend time with my wife, or she gets a little upset.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
All right. So here's a question to think about. What would be your ideal geocaching vacation? What or where?
Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Oh,
I want to get that geocache in Antarctica, man.
There's quite a few
cool
there.
that would be? Yeah, I want to get those.
There's several. No. No. Oh man, I don't know. I would honestly, I think for me, it'd probably be the UK. I've always wanted to just spend a month in the UK, so that'd probably be mine. A month-long trip to the United Kingdom and just cache till I drop. So yeah.
I think that's always been mine. I've always wanted to go like to Ireland and Scotland to see those, not in a touristy fashion, but to go and be able to, whether it's walk the countryside or rent a car or whatever. And I think that would probably be my first spot that I'd want to go to is Ireland, Scotland, and then maybe like Greece, the Mediterranean area. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
The obvious answer, of course, right now is Hanover because of Josh. But
Right?
but dude, I would never figure that stuff out. I'm not that smart.
Well, it helps when you've got the maker of the cache right there with you.
Yeah.
Josh, you're real smart when you got the CO right next to you helping you solve it. I better watch it. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired here. So. All right, so let's see. Keepers of the Cash Flow, they'd like to go back to the Netherlands.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Bruce, nice. He wants to go to Antarctica. Oh.
Yeah.
It says Antarctica LPC. So.
Man.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Norman wants to go to HQ, which I want to get there. I've got a feeling HQ is going to do something big in 2020.
I do too.
So I'm kind of half planning in my head that we're going to Washington sometime in 2020. Fortunately, we have some relatives that live in Spokane. Anyway, they live out there, so it's only a couple 3-hour drive. So
yeah, I keep hinting to my wife about that one, and she just gives me that look, and y'all all know that look. And I just tell her, no, you go with me. We'll leave the kids behind, and then you'll go have a good time. And I haven't sold her on it just yet.
How old are your boys right now?
Let's see, Hayden, which is Cache Ranger 09. That's his official caching name. He is 9.5. Parker Man 6,000, which he does not have an official account. He's 6.5, and then my little one Lucas is 2.5.
So in 2 years, year and a half, yeah, just leave them all home. Hayden can take care of everybody.
Exactly. I live right around the corner from the in-laws, so it'll be okay.
Oh yeah, there you go. So, yeah, and when we were at Geo Woodstock, we were talking about for the Fort Worth Geo Woodstock of doing like a bus trip. You know, get everybody centrally located, take a bus trip. So maybe we can do that.
Crazy.
Maybe we can do that for 2020. So, Lyndsaey, you went to going geocaching, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your experience there.
It was great. I only went for a day because I couldn't get off time because we travel all the time. So I couldn't get off any time. But my mother-in-law, Carol, you see her in a couple of videos, she came with me because Dylan didn't want to drive down there. So we drove down. And it was great except for Georgia mosquitoes are vicious. They are huge and they're evil. But I think Georgia was great. Rome was great. We got to see some really cool things on our way down too. We got to see a geocache called Enchanted Garden, which some of the other cachers said they saw, which is like a huge fairy garden. I mean, it's tons of like 3-foot buildings made out of stones, and I've never seen so much work put into something like that. It's in the back of a church, so I've got some pictures of that, and it was cool.
I think Adventures with Dan, you can correct me, but I think he did a video or two on that, and I think Jamie did a video.
Yeah,
on
she
that
said
also.
Yeah,
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda did one. I haven't seen one from Jamie yet, but I imagine there will be.
Yeah, she said she stopped there, so I'm excited to see.
3 Happy Campers was there too. So.
Yeah.
They were everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I saw 3 Happy Campers that signed like 2 weeks before me, and I was like, "Dag nabbit!"
That's the way it always goes. It's like when you want to meet somebody or catch up with somebody, it's like, oh, they've already been here, and you're just following them all the way through.
I did get to meet them for the first time there, though, and they were awesome. So.
All right, so let's talk about Geo Woodstock 2019 coming in next May.
Yeah, I'm there.
I can't wait.
I see the Plinko board is there behind you.
Yeah, I've got the Plinko board here, and I'll give y'all a shot. Let's see. Oh, hold on. And there's the box that y'all made me bring home with me. So I really need to go through there because there's a lot of stuff in there that was left over. Some people's cards, Katie, a bunch of her pens that she was just like, nah, just take them with you. And I actually drop a few of those. Let's see, there's cards in there from Moto Joe, Harry Borman, and somebody else. I don't remember, but I will drop some of their cards and Katie's pens, and I've dropped a few in some caches down this area. So, you know, just to spread the love.
Nice.
Yeah. So. All right. So, Lyndsaey, you're planning on going?
Yeah, unless something terrible happens. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
We got family in Arizona, so we're going Texas, then Arizona, and making a whole road trip out of it.
Okay. Yeah, my sister-in-law lives in Fort Worth, and she lives 11 miles from the venue. So.
Ooh,
oh wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully, my wife and her don't have some big falling out, and we can't like stay there or something. All right.
You better knock on wood.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any questions here in the chat room.
I saw one earlier. I don't remember who it was. It was something to affect asking me if I cook and if Lyndsaey plays an instrument. I don't see it. I don't remember who it was. Yeah, you don't really want me to cook because I've messed up a hamburger helper before. No lie. So.
I used to play the violin, but not so much anymore. But I might be able to pick it up and do a little bit of something.
Oh, I love the violin.
Yeah.
You.
Well, I'll just throw it out there. I played the cornet, which is basically a trumpet. Played that through high school. Played the baritone. So that's my musical instrument. And I do cook. I cook breakfast every Saturday morning for my wife. So bacon, eggs, and potatoes.
I can microwave a frozen pancake like no one else.
Let's see. Oh, Amanda, Geo Girl 82. She used to play the violin also.
Wow.
And,
I love meeting her.
So the two of you will have to get together and do a little violin video.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, everybody knows that I cook bacon. I eat bacon. I love bacon.
Yeah.
I made some dark chocolate bacon cupcakes at work for an event the other day.
Oh.
They're pretty good.
How could that not be good?
They had maple icing. They were really delicious.
Oh.
Oh, so Scott Miller is being a little punny there in the thing. He said you guys do a little fiddling around. And John says he used to play in traffic. So and Bruce Zero has a violin that he hasn't touched in months.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I don't see any other questions.
Just a bunch of smart alecky comments.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a half an hour. Somebody's got to come up with some good questions. And if you want me to ask questions, they're going to get a little personal. So
let's see.
Oh, since you talked about Star Trek, Kirk or Picard? Because that's important to your geocaching career.
Kirk or Picard?
I'm sorry, I'm a Picard guy.
Oh yes, I love Picard.
I guess it's the younger generation because you know I've got to say it's got to be. I'm horrible Shatner. I'm horrible Shatner. I'll never do that again. I promise you.
No, Shatner's the man, and Kirk. I mean, it's hard to beat Kirk, but I guess because I grew up watching Next Generation, I just gravitate towards Picard and Patrick Stewart in general. He's such a phenomenal actor. I mean, nothing against the Shatner, but I'm sorry. I'm all about Patrick Stewart, man. That guy's awesome. So.
Oh, 3 Happy Campers is in, and they want to hear you play some drums.
I haven't warmed up.
What was it that?
I don't know if you want me to play. I'm not very good anymore. Oh.
Is that why we called you SirDrumalot? Is that?
Oh.
Yeah. Wait, who was that? Was that David, or was that who was that said that? Because I kept dropping the stick.
I don't know if that was Dave.
Adam. It was Dave or Adam.
Maybe it was Adam.
Yeah, I think that was literally the first time I actually tried to ram out something in probably 2 or 3 months. So cut me a little slack.
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I can play a free valve instrument. I can sing, but I cannot. The whole drumming thing, doing 2 different things. I cannot do that. So
it's tough.
I want to know where your rap video is. You've got like the drumming down. Why haven't you done your rap video that we're all challenged to do?
Because I don't rap. If I thought I could come up with something, I would, but I'm not. I considered it, but just everything else is so time consuming. I haven't put much into it, but maybe you never know.
Yeah, I've thought of, hey, are you sharing that?
Yeah, if you can get it, you can have some.
Is that a Pinot Grigio or a,
Yeah.
a
What's it
Riesling?
called? Disembodied alcohol hands. Here's the bottle.
Oh, Winking Owl.
Yes, we're big Aldi fans at our house.
I was gonna say you go to Aldi's because we have that in our house once in a while also.
What is that stuff? What is that?
It's wine.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's an Aldi brand of wine. It's $3.99 a bottle.
Yeah, it's good for the price.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Huh.
So Hailmeister has a rap video planned. I don't know if he can do rap after doing metal, can he? Is that allowed? Have you?
Look. Honestly, and most of my friends, most of my close friends that I grew up with or in college together, we're all a bunch of metalheads, rock fans. I like all kinds of stuff besides that, but a lot of metalheads have a lot of hate towards that, that whole rap rock thing, like Limp Bizkit and I can't even think of other groups right now. I actually don't mind it. If it's something creative and I haven't heard anything like that before and it sounds good, dude, do it, man. Go with it. I'll come watch you if you come close enough. I love Limp Bizkit. They had some really cool stuff. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But no, rap rock, it's fine. It's fine by my book. I don't mind it. Rage Against the Machine. You can't beat Rage Against the Machine, man.
All right, I'll have to take your word for that because when I listen to music at work, I listen to Slacker radio on my phone, and I kind of put in a channel or whatever. And my boss, she's I'll say about 14 years my junior, and I listen to, like, I type in Chicago, and I listen to like Chicago era type, and the good stuff, Earth, Wind and Fire and Boston and REO Speedwagon and all the good stuff. And she's like,
Funk Railroad.
Oh yeah. And she's like, what are you listening? Oh, that's the one era that could die. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
No,
that's like the best. That's the best music ever. I said, what do you listen to?
That stuff was made before I was born. Well, a lot of it was made before I was born. But no, that stuff's hard to beat. Classic rock. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to Grand Funk Railroad last night.
Well, and what I noticed, like when my kids were younger, my son was probably 12 or 14. We bought Rock Band, for the Wii, and he'd learn these songs, and I'm singing along, and he's like, "How do you know these songs?" I'm like, "Dude." I was in high school or middle school when these songs came out. He's like, "Oh, I thought these are all new songs." I'm like, "No, Hungry Like a Wolf." He's like,
"Oh my god."
I'm like, "No," but my kids, they all love 70s and 80s music, probably because that's all I listen to most of the time. So
yeah, I try to get my kids. Hayden, he's pretty fond of music. All three of them are really, but Hayden's really, he's at that age where he's really, I guess trying to find his way. He's about to be 10, but every morning on the way to school, he's like, "Dad, can we listen to some music?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, let's listen to some music." and I'll ask him, "What do you want to listen to?" And it's usually one of three artists. Imagine Dragons, which, hey, I'm fine with. Skrillex, which I'm okay with. I'm not much into dubstep, but all right. And I forget who the other one is. It's some particular song, and I can't think of it. But so I will let him listen to one thing. I'm like, okay, man, it's my turn now. and I will always throw just something. I mean, really out of the blue. One morning I played Hungarian Rhapsody #4 by Liszt. You know, da-da-da-da, 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 you know that one. And well, we pull through Carline, and I'm blaring that, you know, full volume. And I want my kids to have a good appreciation for all of it. You know, I mean, kind of like I do. So, but I know what you mean, because that's all. Ooh, that was loud. He just wants Imagine Dragons, and I'm like, well, it's boring after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So for everybody in the chat room, on the count of 3, type in your very favoriteest band. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Your most favorite band. I already told you what mine is.
Everybody should know mine, so, but I put it in there anyway.
Captain Antonio.
Hey, you would be surprised that I'm very fond of ABBA. I love ABBA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's Allie's initials, because I love ABBA.
Right.
Travel Bugs, great.
We got Van Halen, Eagles. Ooh, the Eagles are good. Prodigy, Queen. Queen is good.
Yeah.
Stereophonics. I guess I haven't heard of them. Maybe I have.
I don't know that one. The Travel Bugs. That's awesome.
The Travel Bugs. The Beatles, Metallica, Led Zeppelin. Oh, that's a good one. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah.
Good for you, Scott. I love that.
Yeah.
We've listened to so much Disney music, I don't even know what real music is anymore.
Oh, yeah. I can show you a world shining, glimmering, wondrous.
Actually, Frozen Fever just hit our house, so it's more like, let it go.
Yeah,
every day.
My granddaughters are big into that. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Flatfoot 56, Genesis. Okay, John.
Or like you heard Muppet Babies.
I'm sorry, John. Genesis, Phil Collins, I can't get on board with that. I don't know what it is about Phil Collins.
I can't either, except for the one song. I can't even think of it now. Not the do 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 do. No, I don't like that song.
Stereophonics are a great Welsh band. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever listened to them. I'm going to check them out.
Oh, we got YouTube. Got a Bono fan there. Bruce Zero is a Bono fan.
Led Zeppelin, yeah. Journey. Awesome. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep. Journey.
Excuse me.
So that kind of brings up another question, or kind of an observation. Wouldn't it be great if we could use copyrighted music in our videos? I mean, because there's certain songs that just bring you to a certain emotional point. And if you could do that in your videos, you know, picking music for my videos would be so much easier than just scrolling through and the same YouTube licensed rap.
I mean, you can. We'll just stick an ad on your video.
Yeah.
You won't get any revenue from it.
I don't look, I get revenue.
All right.
You're funny.
I actually wanted to ask Lyndsaey, during your little intros that you do, you know, your music is it seems like it's I know you've done several different tunes. Where did you get that music? I mean, is it copyrighted stuff, or is it stuff that you're finding online?
Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's stuff that I just type in and search until I find what I want on those like non-copyright free video like websites.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it takes me hours to find what I want, because I mean, sometimes they're very exact. Like the some of the songs I'm like, how did anyone even write a song about this? I'm glad they did, but where did this come from?
Yeah, because I've noticed that your songs usually pertain to whatever your video is about. So I like that part.
Yeah.
That's the only part I like about your videos.
I understand, man.
Hey, Bruce makes a good point. Jeff does. They might disallow the video, and you know, you do have to watch out for that with copyrighted stuff on here, because I mean, because somebody may not agree to let you use their stuff, and they'll just pull the video. They won't even ask you; they'll just pull it.
I had that happen once when I used a song, but YouTube keeps it up. It's just hidden from everyone, and they allow you to edit it directly on YouTube. So I just switched the song with another one.
Oh, okay. Well, that works out. So I used one. I got pegged twice, and it was early on, and I really wasn't sure about how to do it. But the one that I really liked, that I was out Christmas shopping, and it was for one of the Geo challenges. I think it was December 2016, and I was out actually like 2 or 3 days before Christmas doing some Christmas shopping, and one of my favorite, heavier bands, August Burns Red, they actually did a Christmas album. So it's like really hardcore crunching guitars. There's not many vocals in it, but they do Carol of the Bells, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and all this. Well, they had these 2 songs on there that I listen to every year. I kick off my Christmas season with those 2 songs, and that song just, like Neil was talking about, just portrayed what I was feeling as I was watching my own video, putting it together, and I threw it in there. I knew I'd get pegged for it, and they did, but I mean, worse, they just put an ad in there, so no big deal to me. So, but I try to surf through YouTube Music, and I use a lot of, what is it, bensound.com. I use a lot of stuff from there, and that's really the only 2 places I've ever gotten music.
Yeah, I used to get music from I think it's just called freemusic.com or something like that. But most everything I use is pulled from the YouTube library, and I'll go back there occasionally, and they'll have some new stuff. They had some new stuff to show up.
They had a lot of good stuff lately.
Yeah, they added a bunch over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. So Norman asked, what software do you use to edit? Anyone?
Hey,
I use Video Leap.
Is it an app or on your computer?
I use it on my phone, but there is like a computer version too. And it is one you have to pay for, but I think it's far superior than the free ones I had been using before.
Okay. Joseph?
I do every bit of video and editing and posting from my my work phone, the one that my company provides for me. Every bit of it, and I just use the iMovie. Every now and then, like I've used the Video Leap app, and there's another one that I've used before. Just to put something in that I can't do with iMovie. But yeah, I just use iMovie on my phone. So.
Okay. Yeah, I use iMovie. I've got a big Mac server, kind of like, I've got 3 terabytes on my Mac, so I use iMovie, and I do all my stuff there, and then transfer it to the laptop to transfer it to YouTube.
Yeah.
Hailmeister uses Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Behind the Cache, Adobe Creative Cloud, Premiere, and After Effects. I've got Premiere 4, but I don't. It's like, that's a lot of learning that I'm too old to do, so I just stick with iMovie.
Dan uses Power Director.
Yeah.
I like Power Director.
Used to use KindMaster, I think Dan used to, so he must have switched.
Yeah.
And
Jeff uses Sony Vegas.
John uses Crazy Video Maker from the Windows Store. OpenShot and Power Director. I've not heard of OpenShot. 3 Happy Campers uses Premiere Pro. And I think we've seen about everything there.
Yeah.
It's funny how everybody uses something a little different, and so
it all kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
They all suck.
Oh man, no.
Not really. They're all good. I mean, I do see stuff like 3 Happy Campers has some animation at the beginning of theirs.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I've done some painful animation in Photoshop and doing slides and things, and it's probably stuff you could do really easy in Premiere or something, but it's like, you know, I got a 5-minute video and I just need to get everything in there. And so I don't know. There's things that I see in other videos that I would like to do or wish I had time to learn, but it's a 5-minute video and you're going to watch 3 minutes of it, click stop and go to the next video. So
exactly.
I'm really terrible about like the geocaching chef symbol. I used Fiverr, and I've wanted to use Fiverr for an animation because I'm just not a good animator. But I haven't found anyone that does like those intro animations. So anyone out there, I was going to pay someone anyways.
Actually, somebody had just posted on the Facebook page that they have been a video editor, and if there was somebody that wanted help or needed help editing stuff, they were there to help.
Yeah, I saw that post.
That was last week sometime, maybe. So
we'll have to go look at it because
just put a shout out on there on the Facebook page, and it'll probably pop up.
Yep.
So here's a question for you, for both of you. As you watch other videos, can you think of and you don't have to call out a vlogger or anything, or you can if you want. I guess that's up to you. But has there been a particular type of shot in a video or something that somebody does in their videos that you go, hey, I like that, I'm going to steal that, and you use that shot or progression or whatever you want to call it? Has there been any of that in your videos?
Yeah, I guess. I think it's more prevalent with one particular vlogger. I can think of a couple that do it a lot, and I've incorporated it a couple of times. When I'm out doing videos, I find myself rambling on and on and on a lot, and you know, doing the shot of where you're at or something, and then, you know, just have the audio from you talking over it.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty keen about that. And so I try to find spots where I can do that here and there. Everything for me is just on the fly. So I've never planned a video. I do it all on the fly. So if I ever got around to where I could plan stuff out, yeah, I'd probably do it more, but you know.
All right. Lyndsaey, anything?
I really like the voiceover stuff, especially. I like the button guy. I think his voiceovers are really interesting. His videos are always kind of interesting to me and different. And I've been really into DNF magazine. Shout out, I know you're out there somewhere, because I really enjoy his videos like in his home where he's talking about tech stuff. I think that's really cool. That always makes me feel inspired to do a tech video, and I never do, but I always feel inspired afterwards. I'm like, that's awesome. I don't see that as often, so I find that really interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, Cash the Line, I always think he has some of the best shots and most unique angles.
Yeah. And I'm pretty fond of the first one that comes to mind is Katie. You know, she spends a lot of time on Stone Mountain, you know, for sunrises and sunsets, and you know how she sets the camera back and just gets the shadow of people in front of her. I love that.
That's really cool.
I think that's really, really cool. I think she's the only vlogger that has nearly brought me to tears with a video. Yeah.
I really like 3 Happy Campers videos. They always feel really personal, like we're just hanging out with them. They're really good at making it feel like we're just chilling with them and their dog.
Coda. Shout out for the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could probably go through each vlogger's videos. There's probably something in each one that I could pick out that says, this is really what I like about your videos, or this is, I kind of use that in my videos now because of that, or whatever.
I say Jerry Walsh. his videos where he doesn't show the caches all the way, that has made me not show some things that probably would have given away stuff because I hadn't even thought about it till he was like, I'm not going to show this because I don't want you to know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
I show everything. I don't care. But I mean, it depends on the cache. If it's a high difficulty or something, or a puzzle cache, it's like, I don't want to give that away. Here's the area, here's the general spot, whatever, but you're going to have to come and find it or whatever. And sometimes it's like you lead up to that and you're like, sorry. And you're like thinking, are they going to say, why did I watch this video then if you're not going to show me?
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of times, like the stuff from vacation, all the video I took on vacation last week, I don't think I did an actual traditional or anything. They were all virtuals. So
oh yeah, you gotta show that.
it's a virtual, you got to show it, or it's like why do a video? You can't claim it because you have to go there and take the photo yourself or whatever, get the information. So, but yeah, it's like I would have to say, like GeoRick, his videos, a couple of his have probably, I would, Joseph, you said that Katie's have brought you near to tears. There's been a couple of GeoRicks that have hit me emotionally. I wouldn't say I would cry, but but I mean, he did the one where they were swimming with the dolphins. Oh my gosh, he had his camera under the water and the dolphins. I'm like, how do you get that kind of footage? I can't, you can't do it.
Who was that?
GeoRick.
Yeah.
They were.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, all of his are good anyway. He does the narration and stuff, and they were at they were over in Germany and doing the concentration camps, and it's like, wow, that's deep stuff. I'd love to be able to travel like that, but his get to me, and and then Jamie and Amanda, where they're in Moto Joe, everybody that's got the
drone footage.
Drone footage. I'm like,
yeah, that's so cool. I'm so jelly every time.
Yeah. You're killing me, man. And I think a lot of times the footage that I really enjoy, like Katie's setup, really helps her videos because she's got this great camera that, I'm using a GoPro. Everything's fixed focus. You can't get the blurred out backgrounds or whatever, or the zoom, and so that helps. But yeah, I think every vlogger has something about their videos that is, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say unique to them, but it's like you see it, it's their video. Three Happy Campers, Mrs. Moto Joe. I think we all do. I love he did the little short one. I don't know if it was just on Facebook, of the hot air balloon park. That was awesome. That was a great little video.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Johnny Cash 313 likes Comakino and the Kid, and Geopat, who has kind of fell off the face of the earth. I'm sure he's out there somewhere, but he's not posting videos anymore. And he's kind of one of the ones that kind of got me started, watching his videos. Kind of inspired me.
Same here.
Flower Pot Man, you are allowed to be in the chat room and chatting and watching the video. You don't have to be a member of GCNW. This is a public. You're more than welcome to be here. If you can stay up that late where you're at and watch this, that's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Hackliva's here. Hello, Hackliva.
Johnny Cash misses Johnny Cash.
Yeah. I miss Johnny Cash too. I've sent him a couple of messages. I'm like, hey man, what's up with you? And he's like, I think he's busy doing his gigs because he's part of a little 2-man band, and I keep seeing they pop up on Facebook, and they say where they're going to be for the weekend. I'm like, man, if it weren't a 3-hour drive, I'd go over and pop in on them and take some video. And so one of these days I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. So maybe this weekend. I doubt it. Amanda, GeoGirl82 says GeoPat used to be the only person she was subscribed to at one time. And then she found the rest of us. And so,
whoa.
Sorry. The cat was fighting with the other cat.
You might want to.
The cat was fighting.
Yeah, blame it on the cat. We saw that glass of wine.
I promise.
Yeah, she was digging in the wine cabinet there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're coming close to we got about 5 minutes. So if anybody in the chat room has a very pressing question for Joseph or Lyndsaey, make sure you ask now, because you got about 5
Forever
minutes.
hold your peace.
That's right.
We want to hear the juicy stuff.
The what?
We want to hear the juicy stuff. Not about me, of course. That's
you want to hear the juicy stuff about Joseph?
Yeah.
Hey, like I said earlier, I'm pretty much an open book. Something juicy about Joseph. I don't know how juicy this is, but I'm wearing a heart monitor right now.
Oh, that's terrifying. Why?
Just a little glitch in the old ticker.
Uh-oh.
Well, I hope it gets better. I hope it's going to do whatever it's supposed to do.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, you're a little too young for that. Yeah, I'd expect that from me, but not you.
Yeah. Well, mine's not muscular. It's not, I don't have heart disease. I'm not having heart attacks. I just have like a little short circuit. My heart just kind of starts racing, and I've gone into. I've been dealing with this for about 6 or 7 years now, and it's never really been too much trouble when I have my what they call events. But over the past month, I've had 4 fairly severe events, and I've gone into AFib and blacked out and scared my wife and all this stuff. So I'm kind of having to go back through the channels to see if it's just a little bitty spot in my heart that causes this. It's just a short circuit, and to see if maybe it's moved or anything, to see if they can fix it. So we'll just have to see. And it kind of sucks because especially during the summer, because if I get really, really, really hot, it'll kind of trigger it. And in fact, I take everything with a grain of salt. I don't get worked up over anything. But when I was doing my 500th cache last year, I think it was, I was really pushing it through the woods. I went off trail, and by the time I got to the cache, I really, really thought I was going to have to call 911 to come in and get me. And if you watch the video, you can see how red I am, and it's hot here anyway during the summers. It's miserable here in the summers, but I really, really overdid it. So that's the only thing that I kind of have to watch out for, because, whatever. It'll take more than that to get me down.
Well, we hope it gets better, and hope the doctors can help you out with that.
Right.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Nonchalant. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't get worked up over anything really. So.
All right.
That's probably what's saving your heart.
Probably so.
Yeah, stress free.
Yeah.
So there was a question in the chat room. Are either of you a geocaching connoisseur yet? We're a week into it.
Yes.
Lyndsaey is.
I made it.
Joseph is not.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I just made it today. I was at 45 points yesterday, and then today I stopped and grabbed a couple simple ones, and I think that put me over the 50 points, right? Is it 50 or 60 points?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. I only made it
Something like
because I went
that.
to going caching.
Oh yeah, that helps. Mega
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get it eventually.
Yeah. Let's see. There was another question. Flower Pot Man wanted to know, how do you have so much content in your short 5-minute videos? And everybody's giving them advice, and I would have to say the same thing as cut it.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It-
I always
it's-
start out with like a 30-minute video, and then I just snip and snip and snip and snip and snip, and it's painful. Oh, because I'm like, oh, this little tiny thing is so interesting, but then I realize no one's gonna care about this. No one but me.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we talked about that. Go ahead, Joe. Joseph, sorry.
I was. That's all right. I was just gonna say, I always want to explain what I'm doing, where I'm at, and all of this. And by the time I get to the video, I was like, nobody cares where I'm at. You know, nobody cares what I got to say or why I'm doing this. Let's just show them the path. Let's show them the cache. And that, you know, that's like her. I just trim until I get it down to around that 6-minute mark.
Yeah.
I do have a 10-minute clip of me getting attacked by mosquitoes because I accidentally left the camera on, and I might upload that because I'm like, I look like a crazy person, and I'm outside of a fast food place, and everyone is staring at me. So I might upload that just because it's terribly embarrassing.
Sure, and that's what we want to see, is everybody being embarrassed.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. I see everything on delay on my other computer, and so now I get to see Lindsay flailing around there.
It's 100 times worse in the video. It's 100 times worse.
Today I stopped after work. I was going to stop and grab this cache real quick, and it was just into the woods in a little park. And the second I stepped into the woods, it was solid mosquitoes, and I'm like, no, leaving.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, DNF today. So, yeah. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at the summit in last May, and Chris Williamson brought it up too. Is you want to keep your little clips short, and I've heard this through other creatives, like the Creative Studio on YouTube and whatnot. It's like, keep your clips 4 to 6 seconds. You always have to keep that action moving. And I kind of tested this theory out watching a movie or watching TV. And if you count how long each scene stays on like one face or in 4 or 5 seconds, they're constantly moving. And every once in a while you'll get a segment where it's 7 or 8 seconds because it's a start to finish thing, or you're walking, whatever. But it's pretty rare. It's everything. And I live by that rule, 5 seconds tops. Most of my stuff's 4 seconds. So anyway, enough of that. We are 3 minutes past 10.
Yeah.
Sure, people have kids to get to bed or need to spend some time with a spouse. Yeah, I got to get up in 6 hours, and Lindsay's got to get up in 3 hours. So.
Yeah, basically, right?
I'm off tomorrow, so I get to sleep in.
Yay! So take care of that heart.
I was actually going to go take care of this connoisseur business tomorrow, but something came up, and I have to fix some stuff in the house. So.
Oh. Yeah, that's not fun.
No.
Go geocaching instead.
Right. Put off your responsibilities. What are those?
Yeah. All right. So, here's your last opportunity, and ladies first. Any bit of wisdom or anything that you would like to give to your public right now as we sign off?
Just hug your family, find the geocaches. Some stuff can wait till tomorrow. Just embrace every day as it comes.
All right. Joseph, what's your deep thought?
How am I supposed to follow that? Here you go. There you go, right there.
Do or do not. There is no try.
That's right.
All right. All right. I want to thank my guest tonight, SirDrumalot, and the geocaching chef.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank everybody that joined us in the chat room. You guys are great. Having your own conversation.
Love you guys.
I think we had 25 at one point, didn't we?
Ooh.
What?
I
see
so.
18 right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see what we get on the replay. But we want to thank everybody for joining us. If you're watching on the replay, give us a like and make sure you subscribe to the Geocaching Network so that you get the notifications that we're going to do a live broadcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do one again next month, and we'll find a couple more guests. And so everybody, what was that?
Oh, you want it?
What do you
want it?
Oh, can you get it to focus?
I'm trying. I'll have it on Instagram.
All right. So catch SirDrumalot on it. All right. Well, everybody have a great night, and we will see you next month.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.